I said in the previous video that I wasn't going to demonstrate the completion of the kitchen layout because it's just redundant, but I'm going to do it anyway. On this third video, you can watch it and it might help you, but it's probably not going to be anything different than we've already done. Let's see. It'd be nice to have it. So anyway, I've broken it up into three plans. I've got my floor plan, and I've got my warehouse or my families of the different components that I would want to put into the kitchen. And then I have a section I'm going to work on this wall. So I have a section that's looking in this direction right at that wall. So I can see both in plan view and in elevation what I'm doing. And the first thing I can see is that the window goes right to the countertop. Maybe shouldn't do that. Let's see if we have one that's a little, well, it doesn't seem to be available here as far as the size goes. So we'll fix that right away. Let's measure and see what we have right now. This window appears to be 4 feet. So I'm gonna make it a 3'6" window. So I don't have that available, so I'll make one. I click on the object, edit the type, duplicate it, and I will call it 3'6" tall. We'll also add 4'10" wide. So if I ever look at it again, I can see exactly what the parameters are. So it's going to be 4'10", but the height is, I'm going to change it from what it is right now, which is 4 feet. I'll change it to 3'6". And that will allow it to raise up a little bit off of the sink in case we wanted to put a backsplash there. So we'll do, now let's take a look and see what happens here. That should pop up, that window should pop up. And it didn't, it popped down. So I'm going to change the properties of this window to say that the sill height is 3'6". There we go. So now I have my new window. It's a little bit off of the countertop, so I can put a backsplash there if I choose to. And we can also see that I mentioned in the previous video that the window may be wider than where I put my cabinets. And in fact, it is that. So if we take this, let's just move it. You can click anywhere on the screen and use your mouse to show the direction you want to move it. And I use my keyboard to type the distance. So I'll do the same move, type anywhere on the screen, just using the keyboard to show the direction, and the keyboard will tell me the distance. So now it looks like I have some clearance around that window, so that looks a little bit better. I need a dishwasher, so let's do that next. Here's the dishwasher. Right click, create similar, and it looks like that's the front. I'm going to just put it over here for now, and I can see that I want it to go and be aligned with the side of this cabinet. So let's click this and this, and now my dishwasher's in the right spot, but it's not back far enough. So what I'm going to do is in this view, I'm going to hide the countertop, which is simply right. No, I'll use this. There's several ways to do it. I'll use this and say hide element. And then I can make sure that the back of that dishwasher is at the back of the wall, right up against the wall. So there is a question. Some people like the dishwasher on the right-hand side. Some people like it on the left. I'm going to put it on the right in this case. And then we'll put some cabinets next to that, which would be It'd be nice to have some drawers next to it. So right click, create similar. Again, I'm just going to put it in. I think it's snapped to the back. So if I rotate it this way and click, then there's the front of it. Yeah, that's good. So I can see the front of it, but I probably want that to be a little bit wider. So I click on the object, then I click on the properties, and let's make it 24 inches wide. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Using the align tool again, I'm just going to click here and here. And I don't have it located correctly this way, but if I say align to this line, oops, I don't think I picked the floor got highlighted, so I don't think I did it correctly. Let's go. I want to pick this line right there, which now I've done it, and I want to click this line. There we go. That should be better. And let's take a look. Yeah, that looks good there. It's properly located in the plan and in the elevation. And then let's put some cabinets next to that. Oops, create similar. And assuming that the back of the cabinet is what it snaps to where my mouse is, my mouse cursor, I'm thinking that that's the back. So I'll just put it right there. You know what else I'm going to do is hide the floor because sometimes I'm grabbing that. So I've hidden that as well. Just makes it a little bit easier. And I can also line it up here. All right, I think it should hinge the other way. So let's click on that. We can see the hinges. Click this. Now the hinge is the other way because I'm going to copy another one. And I want the openings to be like that. Okay, that's pretty good. I think that's enough. We'll use the rest of this to be sort of a desk area, which might be nice, or maybe we'll put some more drawers in there. Let's do that. We'll put some drawers in on both sides here, and then I'll have an opening in the middle for create similar. I just click here. I'm hitting the space bar to rotate it around. And again, the front is here. That's good. So let's align that guy to here. And then I'm clicking here with the align tool. And then I'm going to just copy this guy from here back to there. And then we'll have a nice opening in the middle there, which we could put a chair and have a nice desk area. Maybe it's a little too wide. Let's have a look here. We're going to measure that. I'm going to say, you know, how wide is this? 4 feet wide. I think that's okay. If I thought it was too wide, I might make these a little bit wider. But I think 4 feet wide is okay. We can have a desk and then put a big screen TV right up here, which you can watch from the breakfast nook. Or you might be able to see it when you're working from the kitchen too, but that's later on. So on this side, let's have some shelving or a drawer and a cabinet below. So again, very simple, create similar. Click once in here, which activates that view, and then I'll spin this guy around and I'll just put it right there for now. And then I like the precision. I don't like to do it by eyesight. That's pretty good. Maybe we could have it a little bit wider. So let's see what else we have here. It's 12 inches wide now. Let's make it 24 inches wide. Now, what Revit did was it took the center of the cabinet and added the distance necessary on both sides. So I'll just, using the keyboard, I'll just nudge it over. That line right there. And I think that's a good way the hinge would be there, so there's more access to that. And then, let's see, what else might we want in there? I don't think we need any more. You know, I think we might want, nah, that's okay. Maybe we want a whole bank of drawers here. I think that might be more likely. So you're washing the dishes, you got your silverware and the things that you want to put in drawers. So I'm going to put one of those, create similar. Just come over here, spin it around, and I'll just place it right there. And then use the align tool to get the back of it right. And then I'm going to make it wider. So I'm not going to align it yet. Let's make it wider. It's 15 inches now, according to that. Let's do another 24 incher. I'm going to nudge it over with the keyboard. Whoops. What I did was this was active. I was looking at this view thinking that my arrow keys would nudge it that way. But because this was the active view, it actually nudged this guy this way using the keyboard. So let's see. Let's nudge it back and then we'll align it. I went a little farther than I needed to, so that when I align it, it'll be correct. And let's take a look at it here. Looks like it's in the right spot. All right, then we'll align this guy. And let's take this countertop and drag it back to here. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. I'm going to create similar, and I'm going to put that pantry cabinet. Oops, let's see. Create similar. We'll come over here. It's wall mounted, so you can see I wasn't able to just put it in here. I have to place it on a wall, so we'll put it right there. Then we'll align the edge of we want it to go to that wall and to here, and hopefully there's a little gap there. Oh boy, that's perfect. Okay, well that's a weird one that it went in perfectly, but okay, so now we've put all of that in. We don't have a microwave. I like this microwave drawer. This is a nice cooktop and ovens, but let's take this guy out, or let's try the match properties, see if that works. Match properties, we'll click on this guy, then we'll click on this guy, and it should have fixed it. Well, let's see if it did. Now I'm going to flip this section, and it will show me, yeah, I did put it in there all right, but it looks like it's a little bit too it's a little bit wider than the 24 inch. So I'll use the arrow key just to nudge it over. And then I will use the align tool from here to there. Okay, so that's aligned. Now I think my countertop doesn't cover the whole thing. So I'll click on my countertop and I'll just drag it a little bit more. So let's go take a, well, let's save it first and then we'll take a look at what we've done so far. I'm going to use the camera tool, which is right here. And I'll just put that camera in the corner of the kitchen and take a look at what we've done. So there's my upper cabinets, my base. I have a pantry and cabinet sink all the way across. If we make this guy a little bit bigger, we can see the desk that we put in there. We got a desk in there, just like a regular camera. As you expand this view, what's happening is it's being distorted. It'd be like putting on a wide angle lens on your camera. It's going to sort of distort the view, and that's what's happening here because it looks a lot wider than it really is. We'll put some more upper cabinets. That's what I like about the 3D views is now I'm looking at this going, oh, wait a sec. We need some more upper cabinets there, don't we? So we'll go back to the floor plan. I'm not going to keep that open. And again, we're going to flip the section. Now it automatically flips that view because I have it open and active. And we'll just put another cabinet, upper cabinets. Let's measure what we have distance-wise. That's not a lot. 1'6". Now we'll just put one cabinet in there. Create similar. Come over here. Remember, it's wall-based, so it's got to go here. And then let's take a look at what we just did. That looks like I can make it a little bit wider. So we can make it 1'6". Let's see if we have a 16 inch. 1'6" would be 18 inches. Okay, so let's click that one. We're surprisingly lucky here that this all fits like it does. But okay, and then how far should we go with the upper cabinets? Should we go all the way across to here? I don't know. Let's go back and take a look at it and make that decision now. We're looking at the camera again right here. I could have left that view open. Maybe if I just put one more set of cabinets right next to that. So I'll just copy this guy, whatever it is. From where? Well, from this corner to where? To this corner. I think that's enough. Maybe not, but I think it is. Certainly for purposes of the class, it is. So we have our pantry, our cabinets. We'll put a big screen TV here. Do that in a minute. This looks good. I noticed from my other 3D view that something wasn't right. Oh, this countertop is wider than it's supposed to be. So we'll come back, just stretch it back like that. I was looking at it before. It did seem to be a little bit, there was an overhang here, which might work good for a little breakfast bar, but I don't want to do that. I don't see you sitting here at a breakfast bar with the stove being way over there. All right. So I think this can be aligned right there, and then we have a nice breakfast nook. The kitchen doesn't need to go any farther than that. Or should it go to the, yeah, let's make it, let's see if the align tool will work here. It did. And what I want to do here is I'll change the consistent colors. And what I did was I just wanted to align this cabinet so that it lines up. So this basically is defining the kitchen now. I could make this a little bit bigger too, but I'm not going to. I'll leave it like that. All right, so now let's take this section line and just drag him over to here and flip it. You can see I have this layout now, and I just want to put base cabinets in here. And I should have some upper cabinets here too. So let's take these, create similar. And it is wall-based and it's finding the wall, so I can put it in there. Hello? There's a little bit of back there. So anyway, here we go. We're looking at this guy, and I think it can be, let's measure what distance we have right now. From where? From here to where? To here, 4 feet. So I could have a 4 foot wide cabinet there. Let's see if we have a 48 inch. Yes, we do. I'm concerned about the height of that. Let's align it with the, might be a little bit low if we align it with the top of the refrigerator, but that's what we'll do on this side. And so I like that. I'm going to click this and just mirror. I'm using the mirror that says just pick an axis. This I would have to draw an imaginary axis. This allows me to pick it, and I know that there's an axis on that range hood or the stove below. So now I have it on both sides. And a base cabinet underneath there. I could do 2 of these. Create similar. Now it's floor based. The base cabinet is not, I can't put, like I put the upper cabinets, I can't do that. I'll have to come over here and just put it in. Remember, it snaps to the back of the cabinet. So now we know where the front is relative to the, that looks good. This should be 24 inches wide if I want 2 of them to be, and it is. Okay. So let's just make sure that this guy lines up with this guy, and then we'll mirror it. using the pick a plane or an axis. Now that didn't work. This is 24 inches and that's 24 inches and it's, all right, so we're just going to grab everything. I'm holding the control key down to pick more than one object, and I'm going to move everything from here to here and see if it clears. Yeah, now it does clear the stove. Okay, so what did I do? Well, I moved this one. I should move this one too, but I don't know how much. So I'm going to be lazy and just mirror it again, delete the old one and mirror it. And I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to take and mirror that about that axis. Okay, so we got that in there. So now we're starting to lay that out. That looks pretty good. Let's look at it in plan view or in picture view. I don't need this one anymore, so I'm going to close it down. I think that sometimes when you have a lot of tabs open, I may be wrong when I say this, but I think that you get a little slower performance on your computer when it's processing a lot of different tabs. I don't know that for a fact. So I might be right or I might be wrong. So look at the benefit of a 3D view. It showed me that I did pay attention to the location of it as far as relative to the stove and the center line of the range hood, but I didn't put them in the plan correctly. So we'll go back to the floor plan. And now I'm going to delete this. No, I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to hide in view, which is go to the eyeglass and just say hide element. And that will allow me to go right to this wall, pick this wall and pick this wall and pick this. I think we're good now. Let's go back to that 3D view. Yeah, that looks good. Let's do the same thing over here on this side. For efficiency, it probably would have made more sense for me to get those two located correctly first and then mirrored them, but we didn't. All right, let's hide this guy real quick. Hide element. And then we'll do the same thing. We're going to put this guy back in here, and then we'll put this guy back in here. Okay, did a lot of work. Hit the save button. So now I need to put a cabinet here, and I need to put a cabinet here. So let's put drawers in here. So I'm going to put drawers all the way around there. Let's see, create similar, put one right here. It snaps to the back, so when I rotate it, I want the, okay. And I'm going to put another one here, so I'll just do it now and then fix it later. So let's see. This guy needs to go over here, and it needs to be whatever that width is. And look what else is in the way now. It's getting a little confusing here, so let's do the same thing with this in the refrigerator. I'm highlighting both of those, and I'm just going to say hide in view, hide element. So we'll go to the floor plan just to measure how much distance I have. I need to go from here to here. So let's measure that. From here to here is 2'6". And again, we got lucky because cabinets are generally in 3-foot increments. So I want a 30-inch base cabinet. Let's see if we have one. I got a 36 or a 27. So we'll edit the type. We'll duplicate it. We're going to call it 36-inch. No, wait. What did we say? 30 inches, I think. And that's going to be width will be 2'6". That's okay. And I think we're going to be okay. I'll put that here. Use this to line up with that. That looks good. And then this guy, well, what's the width here? Let's measure it. 3 feet. It's a little bit more than 3 feet, but we'll make this one a 3-footer. 36 inches. Then we'll align it back here, and then we'll align it over here. All right, let's look at that 3D view again. There we go. We have a lot of drawers here. Got to put some more upper cabinets in. And then we'll put that TV in and we'll call it a day. Okay, large screen TV. Right, so let's look here. So this is 30 inches. These are 48 inches. So let's just copy those over. Just put it in there real quick. We only want it to be 30 inches. So let's see if we have a 30-inch one. And yes, we do. All right, then we'll align it to here. That works. It's looking pretty good. We're going to have actually another space here. We could actually go another foot with that cabinet. That'll make sense in the second when I try to put the cabinets over here, because the upper cabinets are only 12 inches wide. So I could add another 12 inches to this guy. So it would be a 40-incher, which we don't have. 36, 37, 38. It could be 39 because they come in 3-foot increments or 3-inch increments. So let's make another one here. 39 inches wide. Duplicate. We'll just say 39 inches, and the width will be 36 or something. 39 inches. Yeah, because that's a 3-foot increment. 39 is a 3-inch increment. If you had more than that, it would be a custom cabinet. You know, you're generally buying prefabricated boxes, pretty much for your standard kitchen. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing. Let's just do the same thing right here. Create some, let's see if we can do that on this wall. Yeah, look at that, we can. So boom, all right. I want the tops to line up, and I just snapped it in there, so I'll line the top. And what would happen in real life is they would just put a wood spacer in there because it's not the 3-inch increment. Now let's look at the view in the other direction. We have another section, this one. So we'll grab this section and bring it up, and we'll flip it, and we'll go to that view. And there it is. And again, what I'm going to, I could make it even, maybe I could make it a little bit wider, or we could put a big spacer in there. Probably, let's see how much distance we have from this cabinet to this cabinet. 4 feet. So we could make this guy 4 feet wide. We have a 48-incher. Then we can simply click on the edge of the refrigerator and the edge of the cabinet. And it looks like there might be a little space there. Very little bit amount of space there. But there we go. We have our upper cabinets. We have our base cabinets. And now we're going to put in that big screen TV. All right, so let's put that TV in now. We go over to architecture component, and in your families, from your template, you also do have a TV. I have an 80-inch TV that might be a little bit too wide. Let's see what else we have here. Well, 55 is a little too small. 65. Let's try that one. And we got to place it. It's wall based, and there it is. And of course, we need to raise it up. So I'll just nudge it up like that, and kind of center it on the opening. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I did put the TV in, and I did put an image, which is a decal, which is a little complicated process. This is really about just putting in the kitchen cabinets. So I'll do another video just about putting in the television, which you have in your library. But you need to, if you want the image to be on the screen, then it's called a decal. And you can look up online how to put in a decal, and there's plenty of YouTube videos about that. But for now, let's leave it at this, where I just put that in as one more thing we probably should do is put in a chair in front of it. So let's see. Architecture component. You probably have chairs in there too. Let's look. This is your template. So There's a bar chair or an executive. Yeah, let's just put a executive chair. Might be a little bit too low, but let's do it and see what happens. The desk heights are not 36 inches, so this might be a little bit too low. But it gives you the idea. And we have a little desk there. Okie doke.